Okay,
So,
well,
in your opinion, in Santa Cruz, what are we lacking?
what are you lacking in Santa Cruz? It's not for lack of money.
Clearly,
Um,
this town
it's
makes plenty of money.
to put it in brass tacks. I would say that it's very easy to put people in boxes, and people in boxes don't need to be boxed in further.
People in boxes don't need to be boxed in further.
So I don't know. You're kind of putting me on the spot, but I would say that there's a lot of things wrong with this town, and
Well,
you
let's
could
go back
start.
to what you
You
were
could
saying
well.
about the.
Let's hear me out, and let's start
Okay.
with the light fixtures.
Yeah.
Let's start with when I came into this town, which was January 28th. Politics was shifting. I think you
Absolutely.
got 2 new council members, and I think you got a lot of money that was running into this town that wasn't necessarily in this town. It was part of this idea of smart cities.
Of what cities?
Smart cities.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I don't know what a smart city is, but I know the idea. And so I'll take you through a couple of ideas that I've gone through in my years of politics that I understand. And one of them that the people can really get behind is straight shooting.
Absolutely. And
Which
I believe
means
that's what
you say what you
Justin's
do and you
looking
mean what you
for.
say. I've worked on a number
Which
of
is the
bills.
opposite of real, or not real, but it's the opposite of what we see as politics. Like,
Right.
I'm just looking at liars. When I think of a politician, I'm just like, oh, cool, I get to watch someone lie to me. Great. But that's not how I view Justin.
I don't think of liars so much as what I've seen is what becomes acceptable, what becomes passable, and
Right.
that's
Okay.
that's a lot of people that aren't paying attention, and that's a lot of less than grassroots politics. It's a lot less of people coming together and talking about politics and talking about issues, and it's more about
Like, actually giving a fuck compared to trying to profit.
let's give it an example. Let's talk about this whole movement that's clearly here. It's no longer something that you can say is like maybe it's there, maybe it's not. It's what I would call straightforward politics, straight shooting. And there is a huge community, which in the time that I've been back here, which is about 4 months, I've seen, didn't understand, and I think that I kind of get now. But it's called Let's Make Santa Cruz Great Again. And I think it's a touchy subject, but I think it's an important one. And I can tell you what I know about it and what I think it means.
Please do. Can I use your lighter?
Yeah. So, what I think it is a sort of get back to the roots sort of idea, and I think that it's become a little bit convoluted.
I agree. I 100% agree. I was born and raised in this town, so I'm being your listener.
It's not my place to say whether it's good or bad.
I think you have an educated opinion.
What I like about it is it's about nationalism. It's about liking your town. It's about liking your country. It's got a whole lot of good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it being keep Santa Cruz weird.
No, but it's not keep. That's a great point. That's a great point. Keep Santa Cruz weird, which is different from make Santa Cruz great again.
Mm.
And there's subtleties that you and I, Jesse, will get. And if you're really thinking about it, you'll understand that like it comes with connotations that are negative. and that's why I think off the bat it's a bad concept, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
I agree. Yeah. When I was at Cabrillo, just doing community college shit, this subject came up in sociology, and that's what we the class kind of agreed with what you just summed up. Like, it's I mean, I define it as cute. It's a cute concept, but bullies are gonna use that and just, oh yeah, cool, we have a fucking amusement park.
Well,
Rent's more expensive.
it's not bullies, and for lack of a better term,
Politicians?
well, in real life, you don't get bullied by your coworker. You don't get bullied by your boss. You get harassed. And I
Oh,
think that
wow,
there should
okay.
be
I was about to disagree with you, but yeah, you're right.
But I think that when we're kids, we're bullied, and when
Right,
we're
because you're
adults,
weaker then,
we're
or you're like a
harassed.
nerd.
But there's a big difference between
That's
a
an
bully
interesting concept.
and harassment, because harassment is for adults.
Adults, yeah.
And
Wow, I've
bullying is
never
for
even
children.
thought of it that way. That's really interesting. I'm interrupting now. Would you mind going back to what you were saying earlier? And I'm kind of forgetting what exactly it was, but I was super interested. It was before you went to the where a great place to offer up a gift from the county would be. If you don't remember, then let's just move on.
Well,
But
if you think I
there,
like brass
earlier
tacks,
I tried to interrupt you and ask you about it,
where,
and you
where
said,
do you think
let me
the money
speak.
should be going?
I lost it. Sorry. I tried.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you think about
It was something about Justin. It was something about how, like, the recent city council meeting, and we were talking about where...
Yeah, so I was talking about that. I was talking
yes.
about Justin. So
Yeah.
I was saying within that council meeting, I had bothered to show up.
This is what we were talking about. Thank you.
So it's not that I haven't tried to show up before. It's that certain things are keeping me.
Being?
Well, I talked about the city lights, and I think the city lights are important because when I first moved here, I don't know, I saw some stuff, a lot of stuff. I saw a lot of shaking and a lot of moving, and I saw a lot of things come together very quickly. And one of the things that I saw was people, literally tapping on telephone poles, stuff that was going on in the city.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's just, little notes that said, like, in this many days, this will be happening. Cities do that all the time. They said this
Like notices?
This street will be shut down because we're drilling.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Drilling and all
Like,
that sort of stuff.
it's happening on the street I'm staying on right now. It's like, yeah, you can't park here or whatever.
Right. So there's certain things about Santa Cruz that I really love.
What do you mean by the street lights? Like, for safety?
Well, if we're, you should pan over there just so you can see it. It's kind of a nasty light. I mean, that's a fluorescent sort of. I think it's a metal halide with fluorescent on top of it. It's gross. If you look
It looks
over there,
especially
you'll see
gross with the,
yellow light, right? That one over there.
Sure, yeah, that one.
It's not gross. It's not like in your face. Like, it's not like a diamond shining like super duper bright. That light speaks to people that are not afraid to leave their door unlocked, that have lived here for a while and probably know all their neighbors.
Right.
And they don't need that sort of nasty shining thing.
Okay, now I'm understanding. I was over staying with my guitarist on Seabright, and we never lock our door.
I never did
And
either.
These lights aren't there. It's those.
Right.
And it just feels comfortable. And
Does that feel comfortable? right now? Are you feeling comfort right now? Are you kind of feeling something on
I feel
on your right
indifferent.
shoulder that
Indifferent.
feels nasty? Just like kind of.
I like that more now that you mention it.
Do you think if I wasn't here, you wouldn't feel that?
I probably wouldn't think of it. Just honestly. But once you mention it, if I was going to compare and contrast, annoying, comfortable. Streetlights being annoying ones, this soft.
Okay. So, we brought up the lights, right?
Covered lights?
If I were to be recorded, what would I want to be recorded saying? I became homeless about 9 months ago. Okay? The first place that I went to was Eugene.
Oregon.
Eugene, Oregon.
Yep.
Right? I heard it from a friend.
Yeah,
you know?
I've been up there quite a bit.
Right. So this whole idea, this whole notion was sort of run off the same sort of thing. And I can't speak too much towards that, although I could if I wanted to. I can tell you about court cases that I knew about that were going on in
That apply to what?
That apply to homelessness.
Okay.
I was there when they showed up at the courts and they were camping at the court site. I met one of the people that was in the original case that was from Eugene that said
this
that
was during Occupy stuff?
Yeah.
Right. We did the same spiel on our court steps.
Right.
My a great man that is, I view him as one of my stepfathers. Like, we're not related, but he's a politician, and he represented everyone that slept on the court steps, and he ended up getting arrested for it. So, like, even if you work at the courthouse, you're not exempt.
Right. So I saw that, and I left Eugene, and I left with a turkey ticket in my hand, and I was going
What's
to the
a turkey ticket mean?
It was on Turkey Day, literally Thanksgiving, and I was given a ticket for drinking in the park.
Oh, wow. Oh.
I call it a Turkey Day ticket.
Okay.
Because I was just like,
so you got a turkey
people
ticket.
were falling over themselves to give homeless people. There was a lot of love in that town, and they were literally falling all over themselves. It was raining that day to give us like turkey dinners, and I'm talking about like really good, home cooked, fantastic
they're hooking it up.
meals. And so we stopped there to congregate because we'd all gotten together and we were all enjoying our turkey dinners and stuff. And yes, we had booze there. I mean, I think most Thanksgiving meals have. But anyway, the cops came up on us and they saw one bottle and they gave 4 tickets. That's $400 a piece.
Fuck. $1,600 for the tickets for one bottle?
4 homeless people. Now,
that's ridiculous.
What that turkey ticket, and this is what's probably important.
Happy Thanksgiving.
This is what's probably important to your
Justin.
Yeah.
Friend.
Justin, that's funny. I should say that my name was going to be Justin, but then I would have been Justin Wise. But yeah, they gave us these tickets, and it was ridiculous because we were all homeless.
Right? What the fuck
I had
are you
just
gonna
gotten kicked out of the University of Oregon, or not kicked out, but
left.
That's too long of a story. But what that ticket essentially meant was I was unallowed to be in the parks anymore, which mean I was basically kicked to the streets. And I have this idea that I'm not sure is completely correct about Eugene and what it does with homeless people. And what it does with homeless people is it becomes like this place where they can congregate, and it's a place where they can maybe find happiness. You know, maybe they can run away from their troubles. Maybe they can run for the summer. It's a lot of things.
Oh, I hear you.
But University of Oregon and Eugene and Santa Cruz, they're not the same thing to me. Santa Cruz is where I got my digs. That's where I got my AA from Cabrillo.
I love Cabrillo.
I first started doing politics.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a senator there, as a matter of fact.
Awesome.
But you know,
Obladi.
Aladi.
I'm gonna get this cat home before she's. I know those ears. I'm gonna turn this off.
Mm-hmm.
We got a solid 16 minutes.